Hello to my parish family. I hope you've heard by now that we're going to be reopening St. Mary's for our weekend masses beginning this coming weekend, Father's Day weekend. That's June 20th and 21st. Please note that the mass times are just a little different. Saturday be 4 p.m., Sunday will be at 7:30, 9:30, and 11:30 in the morning. Those changes were made to help us facilitate entering and leaving the church so we can maintain proper social distancing. But I'll talk about that a little bit later. There are certain guidelines that we are going to have to follow for everyone that's coming to Mass. These guidelines are for the safety of you and your fellow parishioners. Face masks must be worn at all times except when receiving communion. No exceptions. No gloves are to be worn in church. They are a source of viral transmission and cannot be worn if you are planning to receive Holy Communion. You should sanitize your hands when you enter and exit the church. We will have sanitizing stations available in the foyer of the church for this purpose. I do suggest, though, that you bring your own hand sanitizer if you plan to sanitize your hands prior to receiving communion. Now, please be sure to follow the instructions of the ushers. You will be greeted at the doors and given a copy of the guidelines that were posted online. The ushers will be seating you in church. You will not be able to seat yourselves, and everyone must be seated. There will be no standing in the back of the church. The ushers will be welcoming you row by row, section by section, to go up and receive Holy Communion during communion time. Please do not attempt to go into the aisle for communion before the usher welcomes you into that aisle. At the end of Mass, the ushers will be dismissing you row by row and section by section, again to prevent congestion in the back of the church. So please, after communion, return to your pew. No one should be leaving early. Please do not stand in the back of the church and talk to others when leaving. You may do so outside. Again, this is necessary to maintain proper social distancing. When receiving communion, you will need to receive it in the hand and in the hand only. Please cup your hands and hold them at a level to make it easy for the Eucharistic minister to gently drop the host into your hand. You should pull down your mask, consume the host, pull your mask back up, and then return to your seat. The reception of the precious blood has been suspended for now. You'll note that all the books have been removed from the pews. If you know the prayers, you can respond to them speaking quietly, but not in a typical loud voice. And I ask that you not sing. The cantor can handle that. All this is to reduce the possibility of spreading droplets. The task force that I appointed 6 weeks ago has worked very hard to make it safe for us to return to our church for the weekend masses. We had an infectious disease specialist, an epidemiologist, an infection control nurse, and a hospitalist all on the panel to help us come up with the guidelines necessary to maintain the safety of all parishioners based on COVID-19 guidelines. So the guidelines must be followed, no exceptions. If you feel that you are at risk because of a medical condition, then please stay home. We understand. The dispensation from Sunday Mass obligation that was given by the bishop is still in effect, and we will be recording and posting the Mass on the website for the weekend. So again, if you feel that the guidelines are too restrictive, then I please invite you to view the Mass online. Please do not put the other parishioners at additional risk. I know that you're really anxious, like I am, to return to Mass and receive communion. Please follow the guidelines and the directions of the ushers while you're in church. I do look forward to seeing all of you in church this weekend, and once again to celebrate our vibrant liturgies as we did prior to the COVID shutdown. May God bless you, your families, and our parish community. God bless.